Hi, good afternoon on Sunday today. This is Jehan Manekshaw from the Drama School Mumbai. I see that we're joined today by Ina and Gorangi online. If you can hear me, just let me know in the chat window on the side and I can continue from there. Um, so just let me know and we'll just get started. Great. Thanks. Okay. So, hi everyone. My name is Jehan Manekshaw. I am the co-founder of the Drama School Mumbai. Thanks, Gorangi, for that. And I will be conducting this hangout pretty simply just by having a chat with you and your questions. This is also being recorded and kept live on YouTube. So if you're not part of the Hangout, you can see it there. So I'm going to treat this as a proper Hangout so that everyone can, people who want to watch the recording later can watch it. So basically, where do we start? What is the drama school about? What is Drama School Mumbai about? I'll start over there, and then we'll take it from there. Firstly, we founded the drama school about 2 years ago. This also has a history before that, and that is that we as a company, Theatre Professionals, was founded in 2008 with a view of trying to answer this need for a slightly more professional level of theatre practice here in Mumbai, characterized with a bit more rigor, focus, and looking at best practices in the craft of theatre and theatre making. And that's where we kind of started, the company started there. We wanted to get serious about theatre as a professional medium and as a medium in which you can actually have a career in the long run. And that's where we started in 2008. Um, to make a long story short, we started with acting workshops that were very simple, very rudimentary, where we sit into a room and bring a master from somewhere across the country, or in some cases across the world, as far as Latin America, Europe, Japan. We also had masters from the traditional Indian practices like Kudiyattam from Kerala, or Kalakshetra Manipur, which is a contemporary theatre company up in Manipur. And we have people to Bombay, masters, instructors to teach actors over here who are hungry for training, hungry for honing their craft, hungry for doing more with themselves in terms of not just being up on stage and learning through getting up and joining a production or getting into a group and kind of following this amateur theatre route into the world, which is where we work and which is what we do. This was much more about seeing if I can actually look at myself and my training per se to start with. So when we started these workshops in 2008, which were once a month, 12 participants per workshop, one master coming down once a month, we found that there was a lot of people who started to apply to us who hadn't had as much experience on stage. Usually we would get people with 10, 15 plays and already working in the field. But there were a number of people who also started to come to us and say, we want to learn. And the workshop mode was not the right way to do that. The right way to do that has to be training in a much more professional setup, in a conservatory setup, in a way where you come to school and you learn about the craft of theatre. And after doing these single workshops, and then also in between running something called the intensive drama program, which was where we brought 4 instructors together for 2 weeks or 3 weeks as the years progressed in 2009, 10, 11. We did this program on an annual basis. We also developed this idea of how do we get instructors here in India who haven't been teaching at a school, the only school that we have um, that has a program that we are trying to sort of, work in that way is the National School of Drama, which only takes 30 people a year from across the country. Um, so we started to do this and had this sort of collaborative pedagogy going with various instructors. In the first year, it was Shankar Venkateshwaran, Haisam Tomba, Raghunandana, um, uh, and a number of other people, all of whom were working together to figure out, well, if I take movement and voice, and if you take speech, and if I take acting, and if you take direction, or if you take the theory of theater, or if you take conditioning the voice and the body, how do we all work in our independent spaces, but yet bring them back together, or give each participant a holistic experience? And like this, we started to work on the intensive drama program across 3 years. And it was in the third year that we sort of realized that, even a 4-week program, even though it's fully intense, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., etc., is just not enough if you want to leave people with a comprehensive sense or a comprehensive foundation from which to build a theater career. And that's when we sort of conceived, or we always knew we were going to do this, but that's when we seriously sort of said, okay, now let's take the next step in a long-term course. And that's how we founded the Drama School Mumbai. And that was the first step we took um, in the foundation of it. And our first course was in 2013, 16 students. The same course structure continues with improvements each and every year. The second batch has 13 students. They're just graduating this coming June. And then we are hoping to have our third batch, which is people like you who are coming in and looking at this course right now closely. You can always find out many more details about the course at our websites. There's the course structure. There's fees and scholarships. There's how to apply. I'm just adding these items on the side of this window so that you can decide if you want to look at them and talk about them in a bit. Let's talk about this course now. The way the course is designed, firstly, it's designed for students who have a bachelor's degree or an equivalent amount of life experience and above. We want, or lived together, we want people of a certain sense of, like a certain level of maturity, which means you definitely have to have, like, not just finished 12th grade, but also had the social experiences of, say, doing a bachelor's degree, or, that you would have acquired whilst the doing of your bachelor's degree. We could have, if you haven't done that, but you've also been working for 2-3 years and you have a certain amount of experience on your resume that says, oh, this person has had a requisite amount of life experience, then sure, we'll also consider you. The average age group of drama school students at the drama school range from around 20 to 30, 35. There was a larger range in the first year. In the second year, our median range is around 25, 24 years old. But they all have this basic sort of level of qualification. The course is designed in a very simple format. There are 2 semesters. The first semester, which runs for 22 weeks or 6 months, not including the Diwali and Ganpati holidays, which is a one-week holiday, is complete training. It's 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day. And it is Monday to Saturday, and you go through a whole series of classes and work, and I'll talk you through that structure in a little bit and give you more of an overview of that. So you can start to see it in the course structure item that I have put up on the right-hand side of yours, at least it's on the right-hand side of my screen. I hope it appears somewhere on yours. Just let me know if you can see the item that was shared with you, and you can definitely click through it whilst you're talking to me. The first semester is pretty much absolute training, and the training covers a bunch of areas. One is tuning the instrument or conditioning the body and voice, and we do this through classes in movement, that is yoga and kalari every morning So if yoga is happening Monday, Wednesday, Friday, then Kalari is happening Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday for 50-minute classes. Beyond that, we then do a voice class every morning. So if you have singing on Monday, Wednesday, Friday for 50 minutes, then you have voice and vocal training Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday for the next 50 minutes. And that's how the course works in the conditioning section. Beyond that, we go into basically techniques of performance, which basically layer in fundamentals in acting around two areas. One is body and movement, and how the body is an emotive and an expressive uh, means for communicating the performance. And the second is speech and text, because speech is also considered to be an action, just like the body makes an action. Speech is an action that the actor does. And then the training around these two mediums, these two foundation areas, these also run Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and they run through the semester, which is 22 weeks of training. Finally, then after that, there's also a strong element of improvisation and devising work, because it's not, the drama school is not about just creating actors and performers, it's about creating actors, creators, entrepreneurs. And I'll get to the entrepreneurship section a little later. But when we say actor, creator, entrepreneur, what we're basically saying is that you first of all learn performance. You learn acting, you learn that act of being on stage, seen by other people, but it doesn't exist in isolation. There's a whole world around the actor, creator, around the actor. And it is the whole stage, the whole mise en scène, the whole world of production, the whole world of thinking about how you're going to actually present this actor in space to an audience, how there's composition on stage. So that falls under theater making, and it's much wider and broader. It's the sense of theater and theatricality. So we do a whole element of classes around improvisation and devising in the first 11 weeks of the course. And these are designed pretty much to really get you to understand what it goes to be on stage or to put bodies in space to tell a story. And it is about storytelling. Fundamentally, the act of theater is about storytelling. So this is where the improvisation and devising section comes in. Then we also have a whole section on theater making laboratories, which is basically on Monday, every Monday, we give the group, the ensemble of students, an assignment. And they get an hour and a half every day in the evenings before school dismisses for the day to work on this work. And in the theater making laboratory, what happens with this is that they learn to create and fail and succeed. And every Saturday they perform this assignment that they were given, either a place or an event, or bring us a live character study, or create a story and create an entire story, an epic like the Mahabharata, but show it to us in 3 minutes with just 3 people in a space that's 3 by 6. So we give them these challenges and show them that they have it in them to come up with solutions of how to make storytelling work in a multiple number of scenarios. And they have 10 or 15 of these assignments through the first semester, but all of them are assignments where they create, they watch each other's work, they critique each other's work, the faculty critiques their work and challenges and pushes them to come up with better solutions and smarter and more effective ways of storytelling. And this really gives them a much better sense of where the bigger picture, rather than just be an actor who's waiting for a director to tell them, go here, come there, to actually have a sense, a thinking actor, a thinking theater maker, someone who's capable of making or creating their own work. And so that's the second section. So we've got the actor, for which we have fundamentals, conditioning the voice, conditioning the body, understanding script and script analysis and text. But then we have the second element, which is improvisation, devising, theater making, and the theater making laboratory, in which all of this happens, where they learn this element of being the creator. And finally, the idea is we want to create actor, creator, entrepreneurs. And the reason we have this third word, added to who we want to generate from the drama school. Because we say we are forging a new generation of theatre makers. And it has to do with the fact that the world in which these students are graduating into is not one with very set parameters about how you can succeed with a career in theatre. So anybody who wants to graduate from the drama school really needs to be equipped with the ability to make their own choices, to build their own path. And for that, they have to be much more of an entrepreneurial mindset rather than just going to an audition or writing a job application. It just doesn't work like that in theatre right now. So if you want to be a theatre maker and you want to learn how to create work, you should also learn how to present that work, how to build your own networks of supporters, how to build your own audience, how to find ways of presenting your work that don't necessarily involve traditional venues if you need to look at other ways. Even if you want to be a professional career actor and you want to just go and hit the audition scene after this, you need to have a life plan. And even that life plan requires that you treat yourself as an enterprise and not just as an individual trying to make it in the world. And so that's why we have this entrepreneurship angle. The way we teach the entrepreneurship angle is through a series of classes around producing, around entrepreneurship itself, where we bring people from outside our field to just explain the basic structure of entrepreneurship, what it is to have a vision, what it is to set up your own plan and your own task list and your own goals for the year, for 5 years, for the decade, what all you require to think about, how you're going to leverage the people around you, your networks, in order to make your own success. And so we have all of these classes. But we also have classes that actually get you to understand the context of theatre as a whole. And for that, we have classes in arts and aesthetics, a context of theatre. We have classes in how to communicate in the written word, be it from writing an email to writing a review to writing a reflection for yourself. And all of this gives you a certain sort of intellectual solidity, I would say, that also joins you in your work, which is mostly practical in the school, because 95% of the time people are on their feet learning from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. So coming back to creation, where we created the actor, creator, entrepreneur. I mentioned that there was 11 weeks of devising and then the theater making laboratories. But then coming back to the actor again, we have another 11 weeks of pure scene study with different masters coming in and working on scene and scene work so that you understand how the well-made play can be brought to life. I realize that this is slightly all over the place in terms of showing you a structure of the course. But having said that, it also just sort of speaks about how much this is a holistic kind of gathering and of ideas and intelligence and methodology and processes and practices in order to give each of the students throughout the whole 6 months as comprehensive a foundation as we can in being actors, creators, and theater makers. In the second semester, which is the second part of the program, there is, the school itself, the training itself in class stops. We go straight into creating a production. And this production then goes on tour. So currently this year, we have The Dragon, which is going on tour. It's the poster behind me over here, which all 13 actors were directed by Tushar Pandey, an outside director, who's also faculty. But when I say outside, I mean he's not one of the students. It's now that they've learned to create for themselves and make for themselves, or they've been given those tools to start with. What we now do is we sort of say, now what is it if you work for a director on a complete whole theater making process, like a professional production? And that is what The Dragon was this year. That is what The Curious Climb of Katachi or Tartuffe in Hindi was last year with the first batch. And the rehearsals for this and preparation for this takes about 6 months from January to February. And then from February to the end of April, which is this phase that we are in right now, we perform as many shows as we can. This last year, between the two plays, they did 15 shows each. This year, they've done about 11 shows or 14. No, they'll do 14 shows by the time they finish at the Mumbai Marathi Sahitya Sangh. By the way, you can catch a performance of The Dragon on this coming Tuesday, the 21st, I believe. at the NCPA at 6:30. Or you can catch it on the 7th of May at the Mumbai Marathi Sahitya Sun. That'll be its last performance, and to see what the students are like and what's going on over there. So this is where we have, and this is what we have in terms of the drama school's production. The whole point of the tour is not to say, oh, this is our final production and look at our work and look at how we're doing. No. The production itself and the tour itself and going to each venue and doing the play a number of times, supervised by a production team and an assistant director, is because each time you take the play on stage and you come off stage, it's a learning experience. So every time the students go on a tour and they come back after 2 or 3 performances, they have to write a reflection about how that was, where their learning was. They share it amongst each other, they share it with the faculty, and then they develop over there. The mandate for the students is that your last show has to be your best show, not your first show. And the reason this is the case is because it is a learning experience. When we invite people to come and see the plays, we don't tout the play as a professional production by the Drama School Mumbai. No, we say come and support these students in their learning. But we work like hell to make sure that that production is up to scratch and is worth going in front of a live paying audience. Because ultimately, that's who your patron is, a live paying audience. So that's the production. And it's a chance after the first 6 months of training, which is really intense. And many people say that it's a lot that goes in, but it doesn't have time to, marinate or gullo like a masala, like, how you put something in the fridge and a couple of days later it comes out and it's much tastier. So this production time is a time for all of the stuff all of the experiences, all of the training, all of the fundamentals that have been laid into the students, each and every one of the students over the first 6 months, to really to really give them a first stab at application and give them a first stab at really understanding what it is they have learned in the first half of the year. Right after the production ends, which is at the end of April, we come to basically a couple of independent projects that the students have to do, because basically May and June are all about stepping out into the world and getting ready to engage with the world as a practitioner of theatre. And the way it works is that they go on internships, which are anywhere between 2 to 4 weeks with different professional theatre companies or different theatre practitioners who are interested and are cross-engaging with the drama school. If they're not doing that, well, they are doing that. They also have an independent research project where they have to go and study somebody in the theatre and write about them. The idea is to actually cultivate in them the ability to research a topic well, because anything that you're going to do in terms of creating should be well informed. If you're going to create a piece of theatre or perform a play from an existing script, it actually says something about the world, about the human condition. And if you're going to do that, you need to really be able to research for yourself what all goes into the creation of that human condition or into the building up of that human condition, so you can actually explore it, understand it, recreate it for yourself, for an audience, and then share it again to the world and say, this is my take on something about the world around us, about society at large. And so that is really what the research project is designed to get the students to get better at. Apart from the internships and the research project, the students group into groups of their own making, and they all present a final production, a small final piece of theatre that they are tasked with making. So currently, from this batch of 13 students, they're getting together to perform about 6 pieces. Each one will be between 15 to 20 minutes long and be performing in June. And so once May hits, their entire life will be geared around creating that final piece. This piece is mentored by us, but it's entirely up to the students about how they want to create it, what they want it to look like at the end. And it's up to them to make it as solid and as robust a piece of theatre making as possible. Parallel to this entrepreneurship track, we also ask them to take these pieces and pitch almost like an X Factor to the producer, the fake producer. Like, we sit there behind a panel and say, show us how this piece is going to be presented to the world. And that is a panel that's run by our producing faculty and our entrepreneurship faculty. who will listen to these pitch meetings to see how these plays will be sold to the world. Our dream in an ideal world is that when you leave the drama school in June, you have a small piece of theater that you can already start with, and you can already say, okay, me and a few of my fellow colleagues who I've really got along with and worked hard with together for the last 1 year now, will be able to go ahead and create a piece of theater and maybe show the world that this is our first offering to the world. I think that when you're trying to network and when you're trying to build your own career in the theater, instead of just knocking on someone's door and saying, help me, or I want to meet you so that I know what is possible, what's most important is that you go out there with a piece of work. All good theater, all good networking, all good collaboration happens through dialoguing.
It's 4 o'clock.
Sorry, my computer does that. Happens through dialoguing, a dialogue that you create through the creation of your work. It's all very good for me to sit down and talk with you about things, but if I can show you what we do, you're much more likely to engage with me or realize, oh, this is how we can work together, this is how we can engage together. Which is why I encourage all of you to come and see the production on the 21st of April at the NCPA or on the 7th of May at the Mumbai Marathi Sahitya Sangh. You can follow us on Facebook, Facebook, it's the Drama School Mumbai, and you can basically see the work there and the world of work there. So that's the course as a whole and a broad overview about it. Just a couple of things about the course that we really are proud of and feel are very good reasons for anyone considering a program for theatre making in India to come and join. One is we're trying to bring best global practices here. Yes, we're very young. Yes, it's going to take us a while to get up to the best scratch. But all of our faculty, and you can meet them, you can see them. I'm just shared an item with you. Oh no, that's how to apply. Sorry, I have an item somewhere here, which is. Wait, let me just hide that. There is the faculty. Okay, I haven't got that, but I will put that up. Let me just share my screen with you because maybe that will work better. There you go. So basically, these are the faculty at the drama school. This is me, of course. Then you'll see Yuki and Gitanjali Kulkarni, who helped me co-found the drama school from the first year itself. And they are really a driving force behind how the drama school is structured and how it's all ready to work. Geetu looks a lot at the speech and voice and text strand. You can also see her on the big screen right now because she's in this amazing new movie called Court. And Yuki Elias, she's graduated. She has a master's in theatre pedagogy from. She's done the 3rd year pedagogical course from LISPA and Lecoq, and brings a lot of physical theatre work to the school, and a particular strand of really popular and robust global training to the school. The faculty is all on this page. I'm sharing the link with you here on the side and of the Hangout, and you can look through them over there. One sec, I'll just come back to this. So in the faculty, we have, the best thing about the faculty is all of them are people who practice theatre or practice in their craft. They're all working practitioners. None of them are just purely teachers. We have Abhay Sardesai, who teaches arts and aesthetics. Ameya Nayak, who has done work on sound, music, and composition. Amod Bhatt teaches, is also known for his work in composing the music and performing the music for Piya Bhairupia and accompanying that wonderful play by the company theatre. And he teaches the singing classes. Belraj Soni is our colory master, and believe me, he will make your body break, but you will be stronger for it. You can come and see any of the students at the drama school to know what I'm talking about. Bhushan Bargaonkar also teaches makeup, costume, and will be joining us in the speech and text this year. Chinmay Kelkar teaches scene study. Deepal Doshi was there with us in the first year. He's from Delat School, and so on and so forth. I mean, I could go through the whole list, and it's long, but you should go and check them all out yourself and take time with them. The best bit about all of them is they're deeply committed to the idea of forging a new generation of theatre makers, and they're deeply committed to this idea of building a drama school in a collaborative fashion. And so we're almost always working like a peer group in order to try and bring the best practices from across styles and forms and consolidate them in a way that will work for the participant, the student. So I'm just sharing the faculty drama school item with you so you can go through that and take a look at that. So I shared one of the reasons we're really happy about it is that we have this faculty, they're all working. Yuki Elias, for example, is currently with Padma Damodran, who used to be the co-convener last year, in the first year, and also helped us set up the course in the first instance. They're out there about to premiere a play. It's called Charge, and it's opening at Sitara Studios in Mumbai on the 26th of April. You should go see that as well. But the main thing about all of us is that we're out there creating our work. We invite the students to come and see it. We tell you, look, you've got to critique us as well because we are practitioners as well. Why are we doing this crazy work of trying to actually create a school? It's because we want a generation out there who we can work with, who we can make theater with. I'm a theater director by training and by profession, and I want to go out and do plays. And I want to do plays with a group of people with whom I know there's a certain level of work, of shared vocabulary that we can start jamming with and working with together again after that. So that's one of the main reasons. The second reason is that we're constantly learning. We're a young organization. We're 3 years old only. We want to be better at this. And as such, I mean, the first year is already really cross with us because we took a lot of our learning with the first year and applied it to the training in the second year. And when I announced the overall course structure for the second year, which is what you're hearing right now already, and the way we're structuring the improvements in the third year, already the second year students are going to be cross with us because they know that they got certain benefits from our learning from the first year, but there are certain things that maybe haven't been figured out yet. And now it's already like, it's much more solidified and much more settled. And the first year, the second year, yes, there are experiments that happen in any school, in any organization in terms of how the training is going to work. But we would not make those experiments unless we already knew that we were giving something to these students. If you go to the Drama School Mumbai Facebook page and just sort of go down the history of the feed page, Jehan Manekshaw, you'll see between a lot of other posts, a lot of me flagging or a lot of the Drama School flagging up what our ex-students are doing. They're already creating work, they're already presenting their own plays, they're working in the Gujarati theatre circuit, they're out there in a number of ad films. So work is happening for these students as well. But this is work that is all self-generated. It's not work that someone is handed them to on a plate. But what I hope and what I think is that the work ethic that we teach at the drama school actually gets these students to really build up their own career, their own profile strongly. But the second point that I was making, the first one is about the faculty all being practitioners. The second point is we are constantly reviewing and trying to improve our course, improve our program. This year, in the way of improvements and in the way of new things that we're doing, there's an amazing theatre company out of Bangalore called Indian Ensemble. They have a director's program over there. 4 students are going through a very rigorous course under the guidance of Abhishek Majumdar and the Indian Ensemble team on direction. And we said, why don't you have the 4 directors come here and jam with the students for about a week or 2 weeks and see what comes of it. And so they are going to do an engagement. So we're constantly also a collaborative school looking to work outwards with the wider theatre network. We're not an inward-focused school, we're an outward-pointing school in terms of an outward-looking school. We want to see where other engagements can strengthen the purpose that we're there for, which is to create better theatre makers. It doesn't mean that we do it all ourselves in our own methodology. We work with a lot of other people to make it happen. And I think you can see by the broad level of faculty that this is indeed a very collaborative space. The other engagement that we're doing this year or trying to do this year is 6 of our students want to go up to do a residency in traditional Indian forms. So we're currently putting that together, and hopefully, I'm not sure this is going to happen, but we are we're trying very hard. In August, 6 of them will go to a residency with either Kalakshetra Manipur or somewhere in Kerala to study Kudiyatam or Kudiyatam drumming. And they will learn what it is to engage deeply with the traditional practices. We've also, last year we had guest faculty, like the amazing Neeraj Kavi, from who you would know from the film Ship of Theseus. Thank you, Adi. The film Ship of Theseus. He plays the Jain monk in it, and he's a very good. His entire learning and training has been from the traditional mode, but applied to a contemporary space. And he came in and worked with us. And next year, we're hoping we can convince him to take the students off for a residency. I mean, the upcoming batch, maybe we'll get, maybe, we're trying on this. We'll get to do an off-site residency for 2 or 3 weeks with him. And that's what we're working towards. So in this way, we constantly grow and evolve as an organization. I've got a question here from Hinato, say how the candidates selected and how they assessed. The Q&A is not working, so that's okay. It's here. Hold on. What will be the timings for the intense sessions that I was talking? Let me answer a few. Okay, there's a Q&A section on the left-hand side. So if you have any questions that you wanna pop up there, I'll answer them definitely in the order that I see them. Okay. Great. But before that, what was the question I was going to answer? Oh yes. What is the application process and what is the selection process? Fine. So in the application and selection process, Sanket, I see that you've got a number of questions coming up. So I will answer yours in a few minutes. Just let me first answer this, and then I'll start answering. There's a queue of questions that started to come up. So in the application process, basically, you first, I've selected a thing on how to apply. I also will go and look at it myself. As I said, the basic eligibility criteria is that you should have a bachelor's degree or equivalent level of work-life experience. And we ask that you show us in your cover letter and your CV a demonstrated interest in theater and in the performing arts, and you plan to make this your career, and this is what you're aspiring to. It's very important because we're going to invest a year's worth of time in you, and we want to know that you're going to actually put out into the world and into the wider ecosystem. Now, I know it's very hard to ask every 22-year-old or 25-year-old to guarantee that they're going to do this, but we definitely want your best take on it at this moment in time. The first thing is to fill in the application form that's available online. Give us a number of references, not family members or friends, but actually like previous instructors, previous faculty, people you've done theater with who've been in a position of seniority to you, who can talk about your work from a drama point of view. The application form is downloadable on the How to Apply page at the dramaschoolmumbai.in website. And you mail that form in to us by the 30th of April. The second phase is for the auditions. There are 2 phases of auditions because we know that different people have exams and are trying. So Sanket, this kind of actually answers your question slightly. You have your exams as a final year engineering student right now. So can you come in from the auditions before 5th of May? No, but there's a second set of auditions towards the end of May that might work out for you. So just give it a chance over there. Otherwise, talk to the course administrators and the program head at the time of your application, and we'll see what can be done about that. But the auditions, there are auditions I know in the 2nd week and then the 3rd or 4th week of May right now. So I hope that answers your question. The audition instructions are on the How to Apply page, but basically in that we ask you to prepare 2 pieces, and the 2 pieces, one piece has to be Hindi or English, and the other piece can be another language of your choice, but both pieces should be in different languages. so that we can see, in what ways you can work with different languages, like your mother tongue or with English or with Hindi. The medium of instruction in the school is Hindi or English. The medium of performance depends on the school student strength of that year. So this year, for example, the medium of performance was Hindi. After the audition, where you present the piece that you prepared, we also do a group work session, and we have a meeting and a discussion with you. And after that, we assess how you're going to be in terms of where you fit in with the applicant profile. In terms of the participants who apply, we take people who we know are going to work and learn from us. We're not looking for people who are just naturally talented actors or naturally talented directors. Yes, of course, that helps you in the process. But ultimately, we want to create an ensemble of learners who are going to learn together as a group. And so the people who will best fit that ensemble, best enrich that ensemble, and best contribute to that ensemble in terms of group work, in terms of group learning, those are the people who get selected. The total number of students that get selected are 18 students. Last year we had 18, and then it went down to 16. This year we have 13 currently at the drama school. I just got information. The auditions are 12th to 14th of May, and then 28th and 29th of May. We also give you the different texts that you can use for the audition. So I hope that answers Hina's question. And then June is when you do all your formalities once the selection letters are coming in, and the course itself starts on the 29th. Sanket, your second question about the timings of the school, I'm going to just try and screen share again. No, I won't actually. The timings of the school are 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day, Monday to Saturday, from June the 29th all the way to December. After that, it's again full-time all the way for the production that takes you into February. And then by that time, the amount of independent work we give you, the amount of work you have to do rehearsing and preparing the play, keeping the play fresh, all of that is full-time. So even February, March, April, when you have free time, all the free time is meant for your work towards fulfilling your goals at the drama school. So that's what it is. Yeah, if your exams get over on the 25th of May, yes, the second round of auditions are, if the exams get over around the 25th of May, then the second round of auditions, you'll be able to make it. I have just been informed by my team that the second round of auditions are indeed on the 28th and 29th of May, so you can come for that. Great. Right, another question. What are my options after the one-year certificate course? What have the students done so far? Does it help me establish myself on the theatre circuit? Yes, it does. It does, because all of us in the faculty are all quite heavily networked. We quite happily open up our networks and share through there all of the various people you can start to engage with and meet. But the actual work, the actual doing of it, the actual succeeding within that network really is up to your own self-initiative as a person. This is a life lesson. It is not just a lesson for the drama school, but it's something that we try and instill an understanding of in you. We ask all of our students to be very self-driven throughout the year. And rather than being a faculty that comes in with a danda and says, this is how you're going to do it, listen to me or else, we don't do that. We expect all the motivation and all the drive coming from you. If the students slip up, we expect the ensemble to pick them up by the socks and move them forward. I know I'm digressing slightly, sorry about that on that question, but the main point about it is that if you have a certain sort of go-getting attitude of your own, I am going to make this work for myself, for my career, for my work, for my life, then your options start to open up compounded amongst the network that we provide you. It's just a network we provide you. The work you have to do yourself. What have the students done so far? Let's see. There are a number of them. Oh God, I wish I could go over the whole list. Let me actually, I'm going to just quietly go to a Facebook page where I can see what they are up to. Give me a second. I'm sorry. This is taking. Okay. Yeah. Some of them are assistant directing on different productions. One of them is assistant directing The Dragon over here. One of them works with Mahesh Dattani, who's also on our faculty on a regular basis. Samriddhi Diwan is currently in, from the first batch, is currently in UK Elias's play Charge. Archana Patel has done a number of workshops that she's created. She's done a number of training engagements. She's also working on the Gujarati theatre circuit. There's Harish Kulkarni and Sambhaji, who are both from Pune. Harish is making his own theatre plays. One of them is a play that in which Sambhaji is performing, which they actually created at the drama school and then took on to tour. Sambhaji is also shooting for a film right now. I believe there are a couple in the soap opera business. Another of our students, Tanvi Ravi from the first batch, has recently got an enlarged scholarship, and she's training under Atul Kumar, who is from the Company Theatre and is doing a residency kind of on and off mentorship training engagement with him on clowning and developing clowning skills and clowning abilities. So there's a number of things that already students who from the first batch are out there doing. Mikhail Sen decided to take his career on and is now at the Drama Centre in the UK. He will be coming back at some point. Tushar Matthew, one of our first student batches, is currently at NIA. He got an introduction to that school through Deepal Doshi, who's also one of our faculty, and now he's training over there. And I don't know, the true test of what the drama school is going to be the students we output. Already in the first year, we show that they're promising, they're already climbing certain ladders, they're already moving up in certain ways, and getting a certain amount of good, strong life experience. Oh yeah, Sodamani was also the assistant director on The Dragon, is developing her own theatre piece, which is currently performing from time to time. You can catch it. It's called, I'm trying to remember this. I'll tell you what Sodamani's piece is called in a second because it's going to be given to me. But in the meantime, there's just a lot of experience and a lot of work happening, and they're building it. And I think that after 5 or 10 years, we'll be able to truly say that yes, the Drama School Mumbai outputs people who are really contributing to the theatre network. There are multiple examples that are now coming up because I think there's a time lag between my colleague Preeti Bakalkar, who's the administrator of the drama school, and the program head. But she is now listing out a number of people who've done many things. Prashansa Sharma created her own residency for theatre. Yes, so Damani's piece is called Wholesome Paths. Okay, I'm done being prompted by my team, which is a little embarrassing, I suppose, in a hangout like this. And she's performing, so Damani is performing in a play called Two Character Play. That's right, thank you. My mind is becoming like a sieve because I've got to hold it all together. Brilliant. Are there any other questions that you would like me to answer? Because this session has been going on for a good 55 minutes now. Look, go on to the following. I'm just going to post a couple of links at the end of this right now. One is our Facebook page. Adi, can you just feed those to me on a chat window? One is our Facebook page where you can just keep a track of what we're doing. One is the Drama School Mumbai website. You already have that, so no need to feed that to you again. Just really take, and yes, there's also keeping up to date with us and our blog page, which is also on the website. It will just, go through our WordPress archive and see what else we have going on over there, so that you can just really get a much more comprehensive sense of our team, the people who work behind us, and how we work. In case you have friends who want to also consider doing this, we are doing another live hangout next weekend, again on Sunday, and I hope that I will address things in a much more structured way. This is the first time I've done it. I'm really sorry if I've rambled on for too long. Yes, and we'll give you again, anyone who comes to the Hangout, a structured overview of the course, the application process, and a number of other things. One more and one very final talk, which I realize I have not talked about at all, which is fees and scholarships. So the course fees is 3.5 lakhs for the whole year. It does not include anything else except for the tuition fees. Your food, your clothing, your room and board in Mumbai is yours. We found people are making a go of it and managing to do it, despite limited access to funds, etc. But somehow they still make it work. We've had 2 batches of students who've managed to pay or get some kind of support or help from outside sources. We have, in the last year and the year before last, we've got a number of good patrons and sponsors who've sponsored different seats up to a limited amount. So some people got a 50,000 sponsorship, some people got a 1 lakh sponsorship, some people got a 1.5 lakh sponsorship. And students have paid anywhere between 60,000 to 3.5 lakhs to sit on the course and to be on the course. We ask everybody who wants to be on this program to apply, regardless of the fee. And then we look at how we can make it work. Yes, of course, we can't give everybody free seats on the program. It would kill us. We would not be able to sustain it. And neither should we, because we believe that this is an education that is to be valued, and you have to learn, and it has a certain value attached to it. So it's really important that you consider it in that way. I'm just showing you the item on fees and scholarships from the drama school page. But there's a history of the kind of scholarships we've had in the past, and it's really important that you can look through those and see how it works. We're also talking to a number of stakeholders this year to find more people who can help subsidize the costs for the students on the course. Our main agenda, the Drama School Mumbai is a not-for-profit. The main agenda over here is not to make a profit, but to be a viable organization that forges the next generation of theatre makers. We recognize that theatre is not the most lucrative field in the world, unless you hit the big time in terms of showbiz and go into Bollywood or something like that. But we are surrounded by people who have made a successful career in theatre, have made a living in theatre, either through conducting workshops or working in ad films, doing stage work, going on certain professional tours that actually pay. The time is right. The economy is good. Arts and culture always thrive in an economy like ours right now. And now is the time, if you're going to ever do a career in theatre, to consider a course like this. As far as us go, we really continue to endeavor to be the best program that we can be. We imagine the Drama School Mumbai eventually in the long run having a 2-year certificate, a 2-year diploma program, and finally a full 3-year conservatory program, where 2 years is solid training and the 3rd year is an optional specialization. And any batch that is part of us, and you're joining an increasing network of alumni, all of whom are, I hope, going to be looking out for each other in the future, collaborating with each other in the future, and making some amazing work in India, and who knows, the world in the future. So that's it from me. You can tell your friends to join us next week, Sunday, same time, to see if you would like to have any other questions you have. You can watch this on YouTube, so point them in that direction, because this, I believe, is now recorded and will stay there. And yes, and you can come and meet us on Tuesday, the 21st at 6:30 at the NCPA Experimental Theatre in South Mumbai, where one of the penultimate performance of The Dragon is happening. See the students at work, know the school. You'll see some of us there. Don't be afraid to just come up and say hi and tell us anything you want to know about anything. Okay? We'll try our best to answer it. Thank you very much. Take care. And thank you to the team for supporting me today. Thank you, Preeti. Thank you, Hina. Thank you, Bhagi. Thank you, Sanket and Gorangi, for being a part of this broadcast. Take care. Be well.